schools, just a nurse. So I think mental health services that are appropriate would be one thing that I would love to see in this city.
But you have, your hands are full. You don't stop. I mean, you're a team player.
I'm a team player to get something done, yes.
To get something done. You're a good listener. Do you consider yourself a good listener?
Yes, I do. I listen.
You listen to your advisors?
Yes, I listen to my staff, yes.
You listen to your staff?
Yes, I
Not
do.
advisors as well?
Staff, yeah.
Staff. And when they come to you with ideas, what do? You think about it? You just discuss
They usually
it?
have really good ideas. And we have about 45 interns in the office, too, young
that's
people.
That's pretty good.
We love them, and they are phenomenal. This summer we have 40 interns.
They bring this energy.
Tons of energy. It's so fantastic.
Incredible.
We had a breakfast the other day. I took them all out for breakfast, and they took up the whole room. We had fun. So that energy is phenomenal of the young people with their ideas.
You help raise how many? 35?
I have 35 foster care kids.
I can't.
But that's over a long period. It's not.
No, but of course, it's a long period, but it's your life.
Period.
You have devoted yourself.
Long period. Well, you learn from them, too.
Of course.
You learn
It's a rewarding experience.
You learn sometimes.
No, do you consider yourself a happy woman?
I'm happy most days. I don't say I'm like smiling all the time, but yes.
Right. Now, do you like to watch TV?
I like the news.
You like the news? A lot? What about films, movies, entertainment? Not much into that, or you don't have time?
I don't have too much time, but a lot of, I love movies, yes.
You love movies. Yeah, basically people, I think it's important that people, they always look for that connection.
Yes.
Right? And I think if you had that deep understanding, and you really, when you go through hell, is when you learn.
Yes.
And the problem seems to me that a lot of people want to sound good and sound right in front of the camera, and it's about caring, like, deeply. And I found you very compelling, because even I was listening to people have to say about you, and everybody, you move people, Gale.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't
you
know
really
about that,
do.
Well, they in politics they get pretty cynical. I try to break the cynicism a little bit. That I do try to do.
You do.
I try to do, yeah.
But politicians, like I said, we're talking right before the show. I heard somebody saying that in politics there's no friends, there's only interest. But you said no, there's some friends.
I have good friends in politics. Yes.
You get for a long time.
Yes, yes. On the other hand, you have friends who you can't trust a lot of them. Friends you can trust.
Right. People that you cannot trust at all.
And yes, and acquaintances and others who double cross you. You just have to know it, that they might do it, and be ready.
I wanted to ask you, Gale, because I was thinking about that. I said, I'll make sure that I don't forget, because there's so many things that I want to cover. I think we covered quite a lot so far. National security, liberty, the civil rights, the fact that the government need to know what's going on, and we feel that we're losing privacy.
It's a big issue.
What do you think about that?
Well,
do you think we should be entitled to have more access?
This is a very interesting question, and let me give you some specifics.
Yes.
A lot of people in neighborhoods, particularly in the New York City Housing Authority or just in block associations, they want these cameras because they think that then the bad guys will be caught, or the bad guys won't do anything in the first place because they're watching. Somebody's watching.
Right.
On the other hand, what I think is horrific is when whomever these courts are or whatever give blanket permission for the government to say, okay, go check everybody's Verizon account or whatever.
Right.
So that's wrong.
That's
and also
infuriating.
I'm just wondering, having spent myself, years in the mayor's office and other government entities, who in the world is reading all this information, because there aren't enough bureaucrats to do that.
Right.
So, it's a waste of energy.
Waste of time, a waste of energy. And
everything. On the other hand, families where there is unfortunately a lot of crime, people want to be, number one, secure in their own home.
Right.
So the cameras, in a lot of low-income communities, they want cameras, which is very different than tapping your phone without you knowing it.
Right.
So the whole camera thing is also, you got to balance it, but there are people, as many who want it as don't. That's very different than, I think, as I indicated, tapping your own personal account when you have no idea. Because,
Yeah.
you know, people
You
know
feel
that
invaded,
you feel invaded.
which I think is another subject for another show, but it's incredible how people, you know, learning to trust the government, I think is a big...
I think it's people are not trusting the government
People,
right
they're
now.
not trusting.
They are not trusting the government
They're
right
not
now.
trusting. How do you get them to trust you? How can we change that? Do you think that's going to change?
I think people, I mean, it's a combination. The people have to act in a different way between the corruption and the arrogance and the lack of concern for the individual.
Right.
Right now, that's what I think we're facing it. I mean, I'm not going to put all the blame on the Republicans in Congress.
Right. If
but
they don't let the job, they don't let Obama do his job.
But the 100 Tea Party people are really bad. And the gun issue, you know,
Is
talk about
another.
security.
Right.
I mean, if you know that anybody can go buy a gun, go to Virginia, go to Florida and bring it back illegally, and you could be killed by it, that makes you pretty cynical.
Yes.
No 24-hour wait period if you're buying it at a gun show in all these locations, even in the stores in those states.
You can get a gun in a pound shop.
Right.
Like there's some places you can
Well,
get
not
a
in New
gun.
York, but not in New York, but here. But in the United States, yes.
But in the United States, you can't.
Correct.
Which
Or
is-
at a gun show.
Right, which is very scary. Look at what's happening.
So people, the gun issue, the privacy issue,
Right.
the corruption issue, the arrogance issue, people are kind of disgusted.
And the kind of money that goes for campaigning. Raising money is such another topic. Like raising money. Expectations are high. The obstacles, what people expect from you. What it's just, you know, and people, they see, where's the money? Where's the money going?
Right, and not only that, there's no limit to it most of the campaign. New York City and a few states, Maine and a few others, have campaign finance where you can only raise so much.
Right.
But in other places, there's no limit.
Right.
And so one individual can give one senator a lot of money. And that person then has access, whereas you and me, you know, giving a little bit of money or nothing, we don't have the same access. There's something wrong there.
Absolutely. People, they're not stupid. People think, for some reason, they think that people are stupid. People know.
They know.
They
know.
know what's going on.
They do know what's going on.
They do know. Let me ask you, Gale, what do you think of Obama?
I think that, you know,
Is he doing a good job so far?
I think he's, you know, I would give him like a B plus maybe. I'm just saying, it's not an A yet.
Not an A
Not
yet.
an A yet. I think it's hard with this Republican Congress.
Right.
Sometimes I wish he was. I think after the first term, he felt a little bit after he got reelected. He gave a couple of speeches after that when he was more forceful. I think, you know, even if you've been reelected, you still have to worry about the Congress. So
Right.
now, although he's not up next year, he kind of is, because he wants to get a Democratic Congress in the House, and then he doesn't want to lose the Senate.
Right.
So he can't be his real self, which is always a challenge in political life, because then he might not do as well, I think, in his calculations. It's a very complicated country.
It is. And very divided, too.
Yep, I mean, we need immigration reform,
Immigration reform,
gun,
gun
which we are not doing too well on.
control, no.
I think it's horrible that the Supreme Court decided to allow the states not to have to abide by the Justice Department on voting.
Right.
And of course, we're dealing with racial profiling issues around the country, not just in New
look at the
York.
trial.
Right?
Obama talked about it today.
Correct. And these are all, you know, complicated issues. I'm a believer in speaking your mind and sticking to a constituency. You know, he had a very enlightened, young, exciting constituency who elected him.
Right.
I went to the convention in Denver, and, you know, you had a stadium of 75,000 people cheering.
Incredible.
I was probably one of the oldest ones there. You know, people were really excited.
Right.
And I think he needs to try to regain, because young people are not interested right now, I think, in general.
That's
And
a
he
good
needs
point.
to energize them.
Yeah. Well, the White House takes a toll on you, and
Yes.
pressure takes a toll on you.
Yes, it sure
And
does.
it's interesting because even Clinton was saying that even during his first 4 years, like you kind of like learn to get the hang You learn to deal with Congress because you have advisors, you have political advisors. You got 2 minutes left. You got pressure from this side, pressure from the other side. How you make things work. After the 4 years, you kind of like feel better.
And then you have to deal with Congress.
And you have to deal with Congress, which is and they don't teach you that in college.
No.
They don't teach you that anywhere.
Yeah.
I heard.
No, they don't teach you. You learn a little bit on the local level. He learned it in, in Arkansas, and Obama learned it in Chicago. But the same politics exist on whatever level. You still have the same yin and yang, but in Washington it's worse.
Do you think, we have 1 minute before we go, I want to thank everybody. Oh, Gloria, Deshan, thank you for coming. I know that today was your day off. You came to help me out. I love you, Deshan. I really mean it. Gloria Messer, we got my friend Kelly Gamache Makeup here. She's here. She's looking beautiful. I want to thank Dwayne Harris, Big Mountain Entertainment, Caterina Lancova, Jairo Zuleta, okay, so Alex Romero, Charles Casano. My goodness, I hate when I'm running out of time because you feel like I wanted to keep asking you more, but I think we covered a lot.
We did, and it's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you. You feel good, Gale?
I love talking to you, yes.
Thank you.
On a long week, this is a great, great ending to a long week.
Do you think things are going to get better?
I think the economy might get a little bit better, but it's still lots of low-wage jobs, and housing is expensive.
Yeah,
I'm worried about the education. I'm worried about the education.
It's impossible.
Yeah, I'm worried about the education system. And I think that,
And it would be nice if we can see the city a little cleaner, too.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, the subways, my God. I mean, the subways. I know that it's